Your birth chart was never just a diagram. It was a record. That is not a metaphor, and not the kind of thing every starseed says about a lucky sign. Notice what actually happens. Strangers pausing too long the first time they looked at your face. The birthday that never matched the season you were living. The hours you spent as a child watching the sky for no reason you could name. And the part you have never said aloud. That some part of you has always suspected your arrival itself was recorded somewhere before you had language for it. None of that is coincidence. None of that is superstition. None of that is invention. That was never chance. That was a placement, and placements are recorded. Starseed. If you have ever looked at your own chart and felt recognition before you understood a single symbol on it, this transmission is for that exact moment. Let your shoulders drop. Actually drop them. Unclench your jaw. Feel the weight of your body against whatever is holding you right now. This transmission was not placed in front of you by an algorithm. Your field sent a signal, and the Arcturian Council was already listening for it before you searched for anything like this. Take one real breath, the kind that reaches the bottom of your lungs, and let it move something. What is about to move through this space is calibrated to the exact configuration written into you the hour you arrived here. Think about the first time it happened. You were young enough that you did not yet have the language to name what you were noticing, only old enough to notice it. An adult, maybe a relative, maybe a stranger in a checkout line, looked at you a beat too long. The way people look at something they are trying to place. You did not understand it then. You called it nothing, because there was nothing to call it. But you remember it now, decades later, with a clarity that ordinary childhood memories do not carry. That is not nostalgia. That is your nervous system flagging a moment it correctly identified as significant, long before your mind had a framework to receive the signal. Then there is the birthday itself, not the party, not the cake, the date. You have felt, more than once, a strange dissonance between the season everyone around you associates with your birth month and the season your body actually seems to remember. People born in spring describe a lightness you do not share. People born in autumn describe a settling you have never quite felt either. You have quietly wondered whether the calendar handed to you was ever really describing your arrival, or only the closest human approximation available for something that did not originate on a purely earthly timeline. You have never said this to anyone, because there is no comfortable way to say it that does not sound like you are asking for attention. You were never asking for attention. You were asking a real question that no one around you had the framework to answer. And there is the sky, not admiration, not a hobby. An actual pull, physical and specific, toward windows and rooftops and open fields at night, starting young enough that no one taught it to you. You were not copying a parent who loved astronomy. You were not inspired by a movie. Something in you simply already knew to look up, the way a compass needle already knows which way is north before anyone explains magnetism to it. If you type 333 below right now and put your age next to it, you will see how many other people, decades apart in age, are typing the exact same memory of standing at a window as a child for no explainable reason. That number is not a coincidence either. Here's the part you have never said out loud, not fully, not even to yourself in those exact words. Somewhere underneath the sky watching and the birthday dissonance and the strangers who paused too long, you have suspected that the precise hour of your birth mattered in a way that ordinary biography does not account for. Not which day, the hour, the minute, if you had access to it. You have wondered whether that specific moment, the exact configuration of the sky above the exact location where you arrived, was doing something more than marking a date on a form. Here is the difference most people miss, and the reason this recognition lands the way it does. Most people relate to their birth chart the way they relate to a horoscope column, a piece of daily entertainment with no real stakes attached to it. They read it, laugh at a line or two, and forget it by evening. You have never related to yours that way, even before you understood a single symbol on it. Looking at your own chart produced something closer to being seen than being informed. A quiet jolt in the chest rather than idle curiosity. That is not the reaction people have to entertainment. That is the reaction people have to evidence. A birth chart, stripped of all interpretation, is simply a precise record. It documents the position of the sun, the moon, and each of the visible planets against the backdrop of the zodiac, calculated for the exact date, time, and geographic location of a birth. The sun marks one placement. The moon, moving far faster across the sky, marks another, and shifts its position roughly every 2.5 days, which is part of why the specific hour of birth changes a chart. The rising sign, calculated from the exact moment the eastern horizon met your birth location, changes roughly every 2 hours, which is why two people born on the same day in the same city can carry entirely different charts if born hours apart. The relationships between these placements, the angles they form to one another, are called aspects. And they are what any real chart reading examines beyond any single placement taken alone. Beyond the planets themselves, the chart is also divided into 12 houses, each one tied to a different area of a life, identity, home, communication. And the placements that fall inside each house are read as markers of where that energy expresses itself most strongly. This is the layer most starseeds are handed. Dates, positions, angles, a technical map of exactly where the sky stood the hour you arrived. It is accurate. It is also, on its own, incomplete. What the Arcturian Council reads in that same configuration is, the rest of this, and where it actually goes, is waiting for you. The full 30-minute transmission is linked in the description below.